This video is brought to you by Against the Flow of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is a book about Jake Fayard, a Marine veteran who is unhappy with the political machine running the state of Mississippi. He decides to fight the corruption from the inside. Jake will face more challenges than he ever has and will stand up for what he thinks is right. His notoriously hot temper will push him to the edge of murder, along with his friend and brother Kobe Barhanovich. Together, they will fight the system and give the power back to the citizens of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is now available on Amazon. A link to the book will be placed in the description below. Alright, y'all. I had to figure out a way to make this to where this would actually work and y'all could see what the hell I'm talking about, what I'm doing. Alright, now that we've got that out of the way, I'm going to talk to y'all about two things here. One, this is going to be a review of the FTM 300DR. My review is I like it. I'm glad I bought it. I've had this radio for about, October, November, December, January, almost 5 months now. I bought it at the beginning of September. Actually, I bought it on my birthday. I wanted something nice, so I bought it. And it's been a good radio. Digital voice mode works just fine. Analog FM mode works. It's got dual watch, which I love. Flip it down here to the B side and see if I can scare up somebody real quick. Usually somebody's listening on the C4 FM repeater that we all use here in Jacksonville. This repeater is probably close to 30 miles from me. Comes back no problem. W5BLX. See if anybody's around. It's about 6:30 in the morning. It's my day off, so maybe not. We might get some drive time people. And doesn't look like anybody's around, so I'll be listening there just in case somebody comes back. Go back to scan. If you,
some things are more expensive down here, some things are less.
Oh, it's got a nice loudspeaker, by the way. One thing I do not like is the squelch. Squelch, you have to hit a button and tune that. That's your squelch. Doesn't allow you to really fine tune the squelch. That's about my that's my complaint. My other complaint is it's really hard to Mars mod. I like a Mars modded radio just in case, because you never know. I may find myself owning a boat one day and I may want to put this thing on 156.8, which is channel 16 on the marine radio, needing to get the Coast Guard. Other than that, I could live with it. It's got a very fast scan, as you can see. got your standard reception. Got some noise there on that frequency generating somewhere around here. I got a way to take that out.
Over at the courthouse.
But anyway, it does have a good scan rate. It's an all-around great radio. It's got a hot little receive on it. And I think I'd be better off personally if I was to put better feed line on it, but that's me. Now let's talk about what this actually does. How far you can talk on it, because I know for those of y'all who are not hams, you'd like to know. You, through a repeater, can get about 50 miles out of this radio. Sometimes further, depending where you are, where your geographic location is. I've been in places to where I've hit repeaters 70 miles away with a handheld, and that was up in the mountains of East Tennessee. And I've also been in places to where, antenna restricted, couldn't really do much. You might hit the repeater 20 miles away. And it also depends on the repeater itself. Now again, I'm currently just outside of Jacksonville, Florida. I'm gonna fix this now. It's driving me nuts. Lock it down. Boom. Now we're locked down. Now I shouldn't do that. Shouldn't have any issues now. I've got it set for everything within about 100 miles around Jacksonville. Oh, forgot to lock that one down. And there. But anyway, you can get on here, you can make some contacts, you can talk to your local club guys, you can talk, they have a lot of local nets on VHF or UHF.
Can't seem to wake up. How you doing this morning?
A lot of guys driving into work, a lot of guys driving from work. I mean, it's pretty fun. When you get your technician class license, what you're probably going to get is one of these. This is a Baofeng HT. Yes, I use it for work. That's why I've got it on those frequencies that are outside the ham band. But hey, work with what you got. But it will, it's a decent little $25 radio that you can, that depending on where you're at and how close you are to the repeater, that will get you on the air. When you start getting some experience, you get something nicer. This radio here, this one's about $25. This one here, I paid about $400 for. Again, good investment. And again, this does do dual mode. It does do digital voice, C4 FM, and it does do regular analog FM as well. The C4 FM is actually pretty cool. We'll go back over here. Anybody awake this morning? W5BLX. I think it's too early for the guys that usually hang out on this one.
Good morning, Anthony. That was my VLX from KW4T. We're not usually awake at this hour. Dave, RO, is probably operating on 75 meters at the moment. And those other guys over in town, I've never heard them on before 7. And most of them not before 7:30. But a fine good morning to you. And oh, there it is. Good. It's a nice morning. 62. I need 62. That's good. Anyway, howdy.
Hey, good morning. KW4T, W5BLX. Yeah, I'm actually doing a video right now, so I'm actually recording and trying to do a demonstration of VHF, UHF, and C4 FM operations, so, you know, I know I'm a little early, but I'm like that most days. The beauty of, the wonder of being on night shift is my sleep schedule gets all kinds of screwed up, but hey, that's the way it goes, right?
Oh yeah, I used to love working at night. The evening shift was good, although I can watch a TV program that's 30 years old. Networks, watch a rerun, and for me it's a brand new show because I was working, and then my last year working up in Minnesota, I was in the cellular business, and we were installing little cell sites that hung on telephone poles. And it was the middle of winter, and we were doing that in the middle of the night. And the boss thought he would rotate it through all of us engineers, that we needed to be in hand in case something went wrong. So he was going to rotate it through us all, but I took the first swing at it, and I just said, "I'll stay. I like working this shift. 20 below zero, no problem. I like this too." So he was like, "Okay." And I grew a big woolly beard, and winter in Minnesota, it wasn't really Ohio.
You know what? I've been to Minnesota. I've been to Ohio. I've been to all of the lower 48. And I'm going to tell you, having been in that 20 and 30 degree below zero weather, you can have it. I'll stay in the South where I belong. It is my opinion that if I'm lucky, I'll never live north of Jackson, Mississippi ever again. And that's the way I'd like to keep it.
Well, not having to work with anybody, go to work anymore. I'm not going to get relocated anymore. So, anyway, trying to turn on my Wires X node here. And I don't don't know why this morning it's not seeing the transceiver. I haven't touched anything overnight. And the computer timed out. And I went to sleep. And when that happens, the wires X gets lost. But usually I just turn it all on or restart the program and everything's copacetic. So let me do that again.
Alright, well, since I've got this on video, and this is going to go on my YouTube channel, you want to tell me a little bit about what Wires X is? Because I'm sure you can explain it better than me. The only time I think I've ever used it was I was driving around and hitting several repeaters that were hooked up to like America Link, and there's a couple of others, other rooms out there. You want to explain a little bit of that, or do you have time to do that?
I don't have money, but I do have time. And yeah, American Link, you were on that's Wires X. Use it, you know, American Link is part of the deal. And yeah, there are a couple different ways of Wire X. Actually, there's Wires X. There's several ways, actually. The way I do it is called a node. That means I'm just hanging off, you know, I'm out here hanging in the breeze myself with a transceiver that's connected to the computer, and then a Wires X program, and you know, which is a free program from Yaesu, and got that all running. And of course, you have to set up a what do they call that? It's a specialized COM port, and that software to do that is free from Yaesu as well. And so that's where you get started, and you have most of these transceivers, like this is an FTM 400, and it came with a SCU cable, SCU 20 cable. And the SCU 20 cable plugs in the USB port on the computer, plugs into the data port on the radio, and then with the software on it, everything is up. So then with another transceiver, or an anti-talkie, it's also got this is all done on the DN side. Then you can I still have to be awake. Anyway, then you have a transceiver, and you're using your everything's done on a simplex frequency, but your computer and original radio that's connected to it acts like a repeater. And then I've got both transceivers hooked to a dummy load, and power reduced on everything down to low power, and everything works good. Now that's called a node. And then there are rooms. Like American Link, that's a room. And you probably noticed everybody and their brothers down there, and they can all talk to each other, and it's pretty cool. And you can talk to DX on there too.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, like I said, I've used it. I just haven't used it a whole lot. I think it's actually pretty cool though. I know they have a fusion repeater down in Gainesville that I use when I go to work. Well, used, past tense. I took the FTM 300 out of my car, and I've got it sitting in the house now. But I think they were hooked up to America Link, and now they're hooked up to something else. But yeah, that was actually pretty cool to be on there. First time I found out what one was, I was driving through Chicago, Illinois, and it was right after I bought this radio. And I'm sitting in there, and I'm hearing 7 land, I'm hearing 2 land, I'm hearing 5 land, I'm hearing 4 land. And I'm like, I know all these guys don't live around Chicago. And then one guy was talking about how nice and warm it was down here in Florida, and I'm like, oh, okay. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. So, yeah, that was actually pretty cool. That was actually pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, I'm just this morning I'm just making a video, just showing what we can do on this. I know me and you are fairly close to each other, but the repeater is about 30 miles away from us, and I know it's coming in real good on my end, so I guess I got something set up right, huh? Uh-oh, I think we timed the repeater. I think I timed the repeater out. Wasn't trying to, I'm sorry.
I don't think we can time out a repeater, but it may be. And I've got my timer set to, I think it's set to never time out.
Well, I know on analog we can time it out. I'm not that familiar with digital voice. I mean, I've used more digital voice here than I have probably anywhere else. You know, I've only had this radio since the beginning of September, so I haven't really played around with it too much. And of course, with the way my station is, I'm still building on it and getting things set up the way I want it to be set up. So it's one of those deals.
Yeah, well, I wanted to compliment your audio. It sounds terrific.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I haven't done anything to it. It's literally the same settings that Yaesu put in this radio when I bought this thing from DX Engineering. I haven't changed anything. I haven't done anything with it, so it's a stock handheld microphone, so thank you. That means I guess I'm operating it right.
Sounds like you heard me. And I'm not sure what's going on here with my setup here this morning. And I'm going to reboot the computer, I think, and see if that makes it good.
Yep, well, I do want to tell you that your radio is still popping up FT991 instead of your call sign. I do want to tell you that. You know, that way you don't forget the ID or something. W5BLX.
Oh, yeah. Hey, give me a minute here, and I'll fix this. This is KW14. I'll go into setup and put my call sign in.
Alright, buddy. I'll be here. KW4T, W5BLX. Yes, the other thing, y'all, with the Yaesu System Fusion, your radio will actually send your call sign, and I guess he's going to fix that to show that. I don't know if y'all noticed the repeater coming back when somebody transmits with its call sign. If you don't know, in ham radio, you are required to identify once every 10 minutes and at the end of every transmission. Usually I use the rule of thumb of IDing when the repeater IDs. But on digital voice, the repeater doesn't ID in the traditional sense where it sends out, "Thank you for using the W5 BLX repeater," or sending out the Morse code identification. It'll actually pop up down here. And you'll see that next time Dave keys up. So when he comes back, you'll see what I mean. And this is what VHF and UHF is. Just local guys just shooting the breeze.
Yeah, this is KW14. I'm not finding the night call. It's in here somewhere. I just went through the whole menu. I gotta get the book out.
The way it's set up on mine, I don't know if it's set up the same on yours, but I can go push and